Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, FA Well Centers. Welcome. I'm going to be going over today some new exciting things that we're doing with autoimmune with all of our patients, evaluating what are these underlying reasons why. Because think about this, autoimmune is not just something that happens to people. It's not just, oh, I inherited this, or oh, it just God struck me with autoimmune. That is not how it goes. There are very specific reasons, very specific systems that get out of balance that are going to drive that immune inflammatory cascade and ultimately cause it to attack its own tissue. Okay, so let's get into some of the basics. Autoimmune, over 190 named autoimmune conditions. It's the third leading cause of death when you lump them all together. Why do you lump them all together? We do this because we think about it's the same thing, whether somebody's attacking their thyroid or whether somebody's attacking their kidneys or attacking their liver or attacking their joints. It doesn't matter. It's the same underlying thought process of which systems are out of balance, which systems are driving that. So traditionally, we've looked at, okay, we've got to get the adrenals balanced out in high stress situations. We've got to get your blood sugar stabilized, 85 to 110 all day, every day. Got to get your vitamin D upwards of 80 if you've got an autoimmune condition. Work on your leaky gut, all these different things. And we know that doing those things really makes a big difference. But for some people, they are not getting in depth enough. They're not getting the solutions they need. And they're like, man, I've tried leaky gut diet. I've tried working on my stress and stabilizing my blood sugar, and I've gotten rid of infections, things like that. So let's get into some of these new things that really are going to be driving this immune inflammatory cascade as well. And you've got to figure out, is that really what's going on? So some of the things that are going to be driving those are some of the different chemicals in our environment, in our foods, in our plastics, things like that. So one of the common ones that a lot of people think, oh, well, BPA is gone. BPA and bisphenol A, and that is, it used to be like in plastic water bottles, all types of different things, but still they line cans with it. There's still a lot of uses of BPA that are kind of hidden out there, but we know that BPA can drive that immune system to attack its own tissue. And there are offshoots of this as well. So what can we do? It is better to, I'm a culprit of this as well, because at Costco, so many of their different foods are wrapped in plastic, are packaged in plastic. And so the best way that you can go about getting the plastics out, getting out the BPA, any of these other chemicals that are going to drive autoimmune, is to get your food in whole form. So you go and you just get your vegetables, you get your meat, you get your different foods, and you're going to chop them up and cook them yourself and everything. And so some of the basic things, you do not want to microwave anything in plastic. That is going to leach out some of these chemicals, leach out the estrogens, a bunch of different problematic chemicals get into your body, into your bloodstream if you do that. So really start looking at labels, start thinking about what your food, what your body is ingesting. Another thing that's really, really important, especially on the chemical side, is what you're putting on your skin. So think about this. Women, you'll go and rub some estrogen cream on or progesterone cream, and guess where that goes? That goes into your bloodstream, goes into the receptors, goes in and does certain things around the body. So be very aware of what you're putting on your skin. And that could be sprays, that could be lotions, creams, hair gels, makeup, all these different things. With our patients, this is a big part of what we work on, is that you've got to go through and look and read each label of what you're using in cleaning products, on your skin products. And there's actually different websites out there that you can look at and go, okay, how natural are some of these? And even just that word natural does not mean much of anything either. So there was a recent study done where they looked at a bunch of products and found that the ones that said natural, that most of them had ingredients in there that were causing allergenic responses in people. And some of the best things you can do is look for ones that say, this is going to be no scent or fragrance free, is a great thing to look for, as well as some of the different ones where they're not putting in some of the chemicals. And there's some certain products. Beauty Counter is a great one my wife uses for makeup, there, and skin products, things like that. So there's a way better and way worse things. The average female gets exposed to over 160 different chemicals by the time they leave the bathroom. These are all going to be driving and stimulating that immune inflammatory cascade. So the chemicals you're putting on your body, really, really important. Even thinking about like plug-ins in the wall, any type of scents, smells, the car fresheners, any fabric softeners. The state of New York just banned some of these forever chemicals that literally never break down in laundry detergents. And so they're getting into the clothes, and Tide and a bunch of different brands that are actually banning them. Google New York bans detergents, laundry detergents, and you'll see a lot of information in there. So it's really, really important that you pay attention to what you're putting into your body, what you're putting on your body, what you're putting into the air. The smells are really, really important. The plug-ins are some of the worst things that you can do. And there's a lot of chemicals in there that can cause the body to go haywire and start attacking its own tissue. So any of these external stressors can be very, very detrimental. So we also know that foods from animals that are fed conventional grains, that are fed grains from genetically modified organisms, they're getting glyphosate. Glyphosate is going to be a key factor in damaging the small intestine lining. And so that is going to be Roundup ready crops, things like that. So if you are eating conventional pigs, chicken, things like that, you are getting the glyphosate is coming into your body. They actually find it in waterways, all types of different things. But that glyphosate has been shown to damage the small intestine lining and contribute to leaky gut, which ultimately then drives this autoimmune reaction as well. So we've got to start paying attention to what your animals are being fed. And one of the easy ways to do that is to look at animals that are fed organic grains. Organic grains cannot have GMO or glyphosate sprayed on them. So 99% of the time, you're going to know what is getting on there. So it's not just about, oh, I want to be natural or organic or whatever, but it's actually about, hey, I've got leaky gut, I've got an autoimmune condition, now I need to do everything I can to help that gut lining heal up. And these are some of the really important things that, on top of, yes, you've got to make sure you don't have Epstein-Barr infection going on, you don't have a chronic bacterial infection in the mouth or in the gut, or some of these different things that will keep that immune system on overload. These extra little things, if you're dealing with autoimmune, if you're dealing with Hashimoto's, these extra little steps are so important. So again, looking at BPA, it can be in can liners, it can be in plastics. Make sure you're not microwaving any plastics. Any of these chemicals coming in from plastics can drive that autoimmune reaction in the body. Looking at the fragrances and the chemicals in your makeup, in your skin products, lotions, all of that, really, really important as well. So use as clean of products as you possibly can. That can also drive your autoimmune reaction. And then you want to look into making sure that you're not eating foods that have been raised, sprayed, grown. If you're eating corn tortillas and they are not organic, you are getting glyphosate, Roundup. That is going to contribute to your leaky gut. I guarantee you, if you have an autoimmune condition, you have leaky gut. So you've got to do everything you possibly can. If you guys are interested in more information on autoimmune, tomorrow night, I'm doing, it's got the link down below, I'm doing a live webinar. We're going to be doing about an hour. Everything we're doing with our patients nowadays to help them reverse their MS, their lupus, their rheumatoid arthritis, all these different autoimmune conditions. We're going to be doing a live webinar. You can grab a link for that down below for that registration. I will also be doing it on TikTok as well. What type of autoimmune diseases cause skin issues? Hey, Emmy, good to see you. So I just had a lady last week that she had burning, itching skin issues, and they hadn't even diagnosed it yet, but she also had Hashimoto's and rheumatoid arthritis. So guess what? 9 times out of 10, there's going to be an autoimmune condition in there. So I don't know, and nobody knows what that is called yet, or if it's even a named autoimmune yet, but I guarantee you there's autoimmune component to it. Eczema, a lot of people consider eczema autoimmune. It's at least a precursor to autoimmune. So if one of your kids has eczema, and all you're doing is just rubbing some steroid creams on there, you are not going to fix the underlying cause, which is usually the gut, this immune inflammatory cascade, something else going on. So yes, eczema can be it, psoriasis can be autoimmune psoriatic arthritis, and the psoriasis will see huge chunks of skin peeling off, things like that. The vitiligo, that's where you lose pigment and people will have blotchy skin there. That can be autoimmune as well. So same thought process. Great question. Same thought process. You have to go through that whole issue of adrenals, blood sugar, estrogenic events, vitamin D, environmental toxins, the infections, all of those different things. And then even look into what you're putting on your body, what you're putting in your mouth, all of those things. So Holly said, what about chicken skin? So that's going to be where it just gets really kind of crepey skin. And there could be, because there's certain conditions that affect the collagen, autoimmune that affects the collagen in people. So I would look at, and regardless, Holly, it's going to be the same thought process. You've got to get this inflammation down as much as you possibly can. So chicken skin may or may not be autoimmune, but it's the same thought process. You've got to address each and every one of these systems that's out of balance, and that can make some massive changes. If you guys have any questions, put those down below for the autoimmune. I would love to see any other ones. Cami, what about KP? Not sure what you're talking about with KP. Give me more information there. But again, it's the same thought process. So whether it's been diagnosed, I just had a couple of people reach out yesterday that they have high ANA, but their doctor's like, wait for it to get worse, then we'll diagnose you with an autoimmune condition, then we can treat it. And so then they'll thanks, Cami. Yes, so exactly. We would be looking at this exactly the same way. Let's calm down this immune inflammatory cascade and get your body working as well as we possibly can. And it's going to get better. The skin things are going to get better. Your body's going to improve, and you will see massive changes if you go through, look at the blood work like we do. So when we look at blood work, we're not just going, oh, here's your CBC and here's a thyroid, but let's look at the full picture and look at each and every one of these systems. And it is amazing what we get to see in that blood work, and then we narrow it down to what healthy people should be instead of the lab range 30 to 100 for vitamin D. We like it 60 to 80, and if you have autoimmune, upwards of 80 there. So you've got to just go through the checklist, go through each and every system, and make sure it's working as well as it possibly can. And can vascular insufficiency with skin issues be related to the liver? Potentially, it's going to probably be more of an inflammatory condition. The liver's probably going to be irritated secondary to that. I wouldn't say that the liver's probably causing that. Any input, Cassie, any input on CRPS for a teenager? Yeah, same thought process. Hey, let's get their blood sugar stabilized. Let's work on their gut. Let's work on their inflammation. Help their thyroid optimize their hormones, their adrenals. It's the same thought process. I always say we see just as many teens and 20-some-year-olds as we do 50 and 60-year-olds in this office. Tomorrow, I've got a 20-year-old coming down from Wyoming with skin issues. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to throw out the net, do what we do, figure out which systems are out of balance, and then go through check by check by check of each and every one of those that's not working like it's supposed to. So it's the same thought process on there. I wish there was like, oh my gosh, we've got this special CRPS protocol for teenagers. Well, we do, but it's the same as if somebody came in with Hashimoto's as a teenager, or they came in with really bad eczema as a teenager. All these different things, we've got to figure out exactly what is going on. So love seeing you guys. If you have specific questions, pop those down below. We check this page frequently, so Facebook and YouTube. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. If you need help, if you need support, schedule a discovery call, send us a direct message, and we'll sit down with you. It's free. We'll sit down, go over exactly what you have going on, and see if it's a good fit to get your life back. If you want more information, jump on the links down below. Jump on my live tonight. I'm going to be going an hour of in-depth discussion into exactly what we do with our patients, and then a live Q&A after that. So tell friends, family, anybody with autoimmune, jump on there. I'll be live on TikTok, and also that link below, you can jump on, and there's a Zoom call where you can get on there and have all your questions. Be a lot easier to get those answered specifically as well. And yeah, I might even have a great special for anybody that wants to get started tonight. So love seeing you guys. Take care. If you have anything at all you need, reach out.